What up, Dokkanners? The summon point banners have been updated. Apologies, I could not get to this video first thing when the celebration dropped because, as you might have noticed on the channel, I had like 50 other videos to drop. Now that we've cleared all the challenge content, we've checked out all the new characters, we can talk about some other aspects of this pre-GDC celebration. And the biggest question of all was the summon point update, because we knew that this was coming for a while, but now that it's finally here, is this the time to spend? July 28th, 2026 is when we got the latest update on the summon point banners. So before we take a look at that, just a quick refresher for those of you who don't know what this is. Summon points are basically these small little accumulative points that you earn throughout your summons during any given year. As you summon on banners, initially they will have these little summon point notifications to tell you that you will be earning points off of these. And so if you kind of dip your toes into each banner and you accumulate some summon points here and there, you can slowly stockpile up to a certain amount. Actually, you can stockpile infinite, but every 300 points, you can exchange these in the Baba shop for either a Dokkan Festival special ticket or a legendary Carnival special ticket. So that's basically yellow coin or carnival characters. And so with these special single tickets, you can then use them on specially designated single summon banners that exclusively feature either the Dokkan Festival characters from the last few months or the yellow coin / carnival characters over the last few months. Before the most recent version that just dropped a couple of days ago, this is what the previous Dokkan Festival banner looked like, spanning from May 2025's release up until December 2025. So the earliest was Tau, which released in May. I think it was at the end of May, but I still keep it within the month whenever it released in my time zone. So end of May 2025 up until the mid or end of December 2025. And that's with the New Year's Dokkan Festival TURs. So a lot of good characters here. And the idea is, with a single ticket, you are doing a single summon with a 1 out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1 out of 10 chance at getting any one specific character. And so when you look at these banners, the idea is the fewer characters you actually have, the more potential to get a new character. And so this is a way to allow those of you who are either unlucky across all your summons or just don't summon too often to occasionally come away with one of the characters that you missed along the way. The catch-22 is you need to summon on banners sort of regularly to accumulate these summon points in order to get these. So by summoning and getting unlucky, you further validate the necessity of this summon point. Whereas if you do summon on every single banner and you get basically every single character and you've got a surplus of these points, you probably need the summon point banners a little bit less. So it's kind of like finding that middle ground, really. But ultimately, this is just meant to allow some players to get a random character here and there that they might not have had before. So this was the old version of the Dokkan Festival banner from May 2025 to December 2025. Now we go from August 2025 to April 2026. So now the oldest character went from Mercenary Tau to the LR Tech Golden Frieza. And now we've got even more characters featured. It was 10 before, now we've got 12. It's not always going to be the set number. It's going to fluctuate depending on the release window, because sometimes a couple of extra characters might have been squeezed in. For example, Ultra Supervillain Sea Urchin Vegeta was sort of an extra character that wasn't expected on the original timeline, right? Like if we look at this year's schedule, I think a lot of people were kind of thrown off by this, right? This was just an extra sort of out of place release, but it was done as sort of a cross promotion. So, you know, sometimes things like this will happen. So that's as such, it reflects in the summon point banner. But the good news is now we've got even more characters in here that people might not necessarily have. So let's just say, for example, you have the Dokkan Festival TURs from New Year. You got these two. You don't have this guy, but you have him. Everybody else is new for you. You don't have them. That means out of the 12, 5 you already have. So you have a 7/12 chance of getting one new character with a single ticket. If you get multiple tickets, you cannot do, like if you were to get 10 tickets, you cannot do a multi. They will all be singles. And a multi, even if you could, it's not going to give you anything guaranteed. They're all SSRs to begin with. So however many tickets you get, each one individually just has an independent chance at getting one character. Is this the time to do it? It just depends on you, your account, what you care about in this set, and what you care about that could be coming up next. In terms of the summon point banners next update, I believe they said it was going to be in November. No, I don't think it's here. I think, was it here? What the? Yeah, okay. Don't know what that was. July 28th till November 20th. So after November 20th, there will be a new version of the summon point banner. So considering our window went from May 2025 to December 2025, let's take a look at the sacred timeline and we'll see what that looks like for us, right? May 2025. So that's Tau. Yeah, end of May. All the way to December 2025. That would be the latest Dokkan Fest would be these. Okay. So that was our window for the last one. Now our newest window starts from August. So we shifted from May to August at the end. So it's still what, 5 to 8, 3 months. Okay, we shifted ahead 3 months, and this goes until April, end of April. So the next one, if we were to, you know, sort of predict it, if we just push it by 3 months, end of August. So let's go to end of September, October, November, end of November. So that would be right here. Okay. So we'll go from here down to July, end of July. What's the end of July? End of July would be basically here. So in November, the next summon point banner should feature something like this. And the most important thing of all is that Metal Cooler will be in the next class of summon points. And it will take a few iterations of that summon point banner for the Metal Cooler to eventually be phased out. Now I point out Metal Cooler because he is the exception right now, right? He is the one that everyone is talking about. He's the one that everyone feels bad about missing. So when he enters the picture, he will be in the rotation for a little while and then eventually be phased out. I think these characters stick around for what, 3 appearances or something like that? 3 or 4 appearances, depending on how many characters are involved. So if you're waiting for Metal Cooler, then maybe you don't have to summon. But by the time November rolls around, who knows what could happen, and who knows if Metal Cooler is even the #1 priority at that point. So it's just all about timing, it's all about what you need, and it's all about taking that risk. Do you think it's worth saving for an investment that looks hot right now, or, you know, as time goes by, maybe it loses its luster and something else comes up, or do you just go for it? You know, that's the internal conversation you have to have. It's never a wrong time because these banners are always looking good. I mean, it's a great cast of characters, and it's a great way to catch up, at least on one end, like one character that you missed. If you don't have this guy, great, you pick up a Realm of Gods character. If you don't have this guy, great, you pick up a great anchor for the future of Namex or Saiyan Saga. If you pick up this, you've got your new franchise player for Majin Buu Saga. You get this guy, that's great because he basically bails you out of any damage-based mission, so he's really good. You know, there's a lot to be gained here on this banner. There was a lot to be gained on that banner. On the next version, there will be a lot to gain. So the same conversation happens for the next one. The thing here, though, is that TURLES has finally entered the picture. We went from April 2025 to December 2025 to now July 2025 to June 2026. Now, some people are wondering why TURLES made the cut, even though he released after Metal Cooler, but Cooler didn't make it. And it's simply because there are fewer yellow coin / carnival releases during the year versus Dokkan Festival. And it's because of things like this. Things like this cause Dokkan festivals to drop more often. So because of that, this guy made the cut because there's just simply not enough personnel. July 2025 to June 2026, that's almost a full year. And look at how many characters are featured here. This is 10 LRs on this cast from a full year's worth of releases almost, versus August to April. That's not even close to, well, that's what, 8 months? 8 months, and we've got 12 characters. So that just goes to show that Dokkan Festival releases happen more often. So the next summon point update in November, this guy will be somewhere around here. He'll still be on this banner, and Metal Cooler will be up at the top, or probably maybe like around here in that next summon point banner. Is it worth summoning on this one? Yeah. Look at the list of characters. Goma, high demand, one of the best characters in the game. Future Gohan, high demand, one of the best characters in the game. TURLES, one of the best characters in the game. One of the best characters in the game. This guy has actually surprisingly become more effective with some of the newer content. He's the Festival of Battles killer. These two are still great units in general. This guy is a godsend for Daima, and now that Daima has been getting a little bit more deep with the recent Super Saiyan 3 mini release, he actually becomes more important. The dud, I would say, on this set would probably be this guy. Well, probably this guy too, but, you know, if you're investing in Saiyan Saga, he's not bad. But this guy's sort of a dud. Besides that, this is a pretty nice set, and this is what it looked like before. This is way better than what it looked like before, because before, you had Pycon, Hail Khalifa, Tien, Baby Bros, 4 characters that I think most will agree are not necessary, even Broly, 5. It was mainly about these guys. But here, I mean, you could really only argue against 1 or 2 characters at most that are kind of duds. The rest, or 3 out of 10. So 7 out of 10, we're looking pretty good. So is it a good time to summon? Sure. Depending on your summons and how you do things, this could be a great time. A couple of people on my recent live streams pointed out that they managed to pull the TURLES in this summon point summon, which is awesome. 1 out of 10. You have a 10% chance to get the character. I mean, we've seen slimmer odds on other banners, right? So whenever you want to do it, go for it. Because the sooner you get one of these characters, the more value you get to retain from the unit. The longer you wait, by the time this guy hits this corner, Daima Super Saiyan 4, by the time he hits this corner, there's a good chance he will not even be that important anymore. Not that he would be bad per se, but there would just be so much more going on in the meta, in this whatever celebration we're in, that he is now old news and you're going to be dreading pulling him, right? So now is the time to enjoy these characters as they're around, and the summon point system allows you to do that on occasion. I wouldn't chase it. Like, sometimes people ask me, hey Toon, should I spend a couple of stones here and there just to get the summon points? You can only really answer that yourself. In general, it's hard for me to really answer that honestly for each and every person. I wouldn't want to say yeah, because spending enough stones to get those summon points could be the difference between you getting, you know, a character on a future huge celebration or not. So it's kind of hard for me to answer that. That's why I always kind of, you know, cringe at that question. But hey, if you can get something good out of it, do it, I guess. That being said, I'm going to go ahead and just do one summon right now. I don't do these too often just because I kind of like to wait for some of the more high profile characters to show up. So since TURLES is on the summon point banner, I'm going to go ahead and actually spend one of my tickets. I don't do this much, so I think I've got like 2,800. I actually haven't even been summoning on a lot of the... I haven't been getting these summon points on every single banner after the fact. Like, after the discounts go away, I sometimes just forget altogether. So let's see. Let's go all the way here. This is how you do it if you're wondering. So I've got 2,400 exactly. I got 2,400 summon points. I want to go for the TURLES. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to pick up... Let's just get one. We'll do one for right now. All right. So with the one, I've got it. Now I go back here. I go to the tickets. Go down here. First things first, kids. Gotta do the most important thing of all. We gotta do that crack. All right. All right. And that's the gambit. Let's go. Doesn't matter. There's not gonna be an animation, is there? Oh, there is. Okay. Yeah, animation doesn't matter. You can't get the holy trinity of animations here because what's the headliner unit, you know? There's a bunch of new additions. So I don't even think you can... Yes, that's not gonna happen. It's just whatever the end result is. None of this matters. 1 out of 10 chance. 10% chance I get TURLES. Hey, I got Vegeta. I'm not upset with that personally. I love Vegeta. Some of you guys probably might not feel the same, but you know what? With the new Super Saiyan 3 Daima release, he's great because he will give him guard after a few turns. And that's pretty much it. You know what? I'm gonna do one more. Just because I never do this. One more. One more. All right. Maybe the crack takes, you know, a little bit of time to kick in. Oh my god, we got a combo. Oh my god, we got a rainbow release. Oh my god. All right, cool. There you go. I wouldn't... Okay, so let me just say, if you have a big stockpile of points like I have, I wouldn't just go crazy and just keep on spending. I wouldn't. Because there may come a point somewhere in the future where there's just a couple of characters that are so important that it's actually worth, at that point, going crazy on those points. So it's always good to have a buffer. So now I've got 1,600 points as a buffer in case something happens, or 1,800 points. Sometime down the road where like all of a sudden I gotta go crazy to try to get one character multiple times, right? Try to do that if you can. If you can't, that's fine, but that's just another way that I think you can help keep the summon points relevant to you in whatever future endeavors there may be. Guys, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to like down below, let in the comments. What did you get from your summon point summons? Did you in fact summon on either of these banners? If so, which one? Which character are you specifically waiting for down the road? Is it Metal Cooler? Is it something else? Do you think that by the time the next summon point banner shows up, Metal Cooler will still be the #1 sought after character? Let me know your thoughts, your dreams in the comments down below. Also be sure to subscribe for more Dokkan content of the future and click the notification bell so that you let YouTube know you're going to see more. Do it. Thanks so much for watching. Stay tuned and remember to Dokkan responsibly.